Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we're looking at the GOAT, Quina. Quina just dropped tonight on Global, and Quina is a really insanely busted character, and I'm going to explain in this character guide why this character is so busted, but just so you guys know, you have to have the BT for this character to be crazy. Quina, if you're unfamiliar, does a lot of things. Quina does do a lot of battery, has a lot of like max brave cap ups, kind of stuff like that. Quina has some notable things too in that they have traps, which traps are very impactful, can do a lot of damage. They can deal rainbow numbers, and they have the most busted BT effect in the game, which essentially while the BT effect is up, characters deal capped HP damage. Like, just for free, you just get capped HP damage, which means you literally could bring like a bronze character in that like isn't leveled up and they'll deal like good damage. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that in the video so that we can see directly like how impactful this is. Quina basically makes any character look good, right? So if you have that like favorite character that hasn't had a rework, Quina is the rework for the character basically. So here's Thancred's rework. It's Quina. So I might even do a meme run with Thancred and see how good Thancred can look with Quina, right? So in this video, let's look at Quina's calls, artifacts, and spheres and see like really in practice what this character can do, right? Now, I think Quina's calls are also actually quite good. So the 15 CP call is called Eat, and what this is going to do for the callers, they're going to get an attack and max brave up and then an enemy attack down, which is definitely solid, right? But the LD is really good. And the big thing with the LD is that it puts the trap down. So having that trap down, like just traps on a call, is always a really good thing, just to throw on some extra damage, right? But let's be honest, if you're pulling for Quina, you're not pulling for the call, you're pulling for the GOAT Quina themselves, right? So let's go ahead and look at the artifacts and the spheres. Now here's the thing. I think Quina is going to have very unconventional choices for the artifacts and spheres. Because here's the thing, there's two things that are going on in Quina's kit. One is Quina has rainbow numbers. Okay, rainbow numbers means that like attack kind of doesn't matter because you're dealing cap brave damage, and that's what attack, like the reason you give a character attack is to like max out your brave damage. Well, when you're hitting rainbow numbers, that doesn't really matter. Now, is Quina going to constantly be hitting rainbow numbers all the time? Not necessarily, but basically if Quina's overhead is at 10 stacks, you've got rainbow numbers. So Quina, I think, will be able to hold those rainbow numbers pretty consistently. But the big thing here is the BT effect, which the BT effect says you always deal capped HP damage. So what that means is, it doesn't matter how much brave damage you do, it doesn't matter what your stats are, your HP damage should just be maximum output. So that means a lot of these traditional stats, like brave damage up, attack up, max brave, like a lot of this stuff is kind of irrelevant, right? Even like brave gaining. I mean, okay, brave gaining does matter, I suppose, because one big thing about the BT effect, it only works if you're not broken. So you can't let yourself get broken, right? So you got to make sure that like you have brave to do that. So one way you could look at it is like max brave. Maybe you would see the benefit of max brave. One, because Quina does do battery scaled on max brave. So if we're looking at artifacts, right? So you could do like max brave 330 and then like the C50, which has more max brave and attack on it. But you're not really doing it for the attack. It's because of the max brave. And I think the max brave can have impact because the higher your max brave is, the more brave you can hold on to, thusly making you a little bit harder to break. But here's the thing, on an artifact, and this is what I might do for my Queen. I haven't gotten artifacts yet. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to build a set of max brave 330 and the C50, but I'm going to make another set. And I think the set I might actually do is I might do HP and defense. Because, and these are stats you don't normally ever put on characters, but when you think about it, a character that's always enabling like rainbow numbers and max HP damage, like all of these traditional offensive stats kind of don't matter. So then what matters at that point? It's basically defense. So having more HP and defense, you're actually getting something out of the stat, whereas the other stats you don't get much out of. Now, are you going to have like the BT effect up and all that stuff constantly the whole fight? No. The BT effect is only 5 turns, but if you play the game well, you'll kill the fight before the BT effect runs out. So essentially you can say, let's just make the character tanky. So I think I'm actually going to put the defense and the HP passive on for my artifacts. I'm going to try out Quina and see, but I don't think it's going to impact Quina negatively offensively to do that. And it's going to help you to be more defensive, right? So that being said, when we go into the spheres, we've got 2 A slots and a D slot. So my thought is with A slot is like all offensive stats. So it's max brave, I brave, brave damage, attack, all that stuff, right? So I figure max brave is the best offensive stat that makes sense to me. One, because like I said, Quina's got battery that scales on it. Once again, the battery doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your brave is, right? Like you're dealing with cap damage. So I'm thinking of it more of a defensive sense in that the more max brave you have, the more brave you can hold on to make it harder to break. And then on the D slot, I'm doing Freya's HP up and just give me more HP. Like, I feel like this is just such a unique character that way that, yeah, I'm just going to put like defensive passives on because I think Quina's BT is just going to carry everything and the rainbow numbers. Why do you need those offensive stats, right? So kind of very unique the way we're building this character. Oh, by the way, we haven't even looked at the weapons yet. Quina is kind of hard because Quina's constantly jumping around. Is that the BT equipped right now? Okay, that's the BT. That's the FR. That's the... Oh, is it actually a spear? Oh, I don't think I have a max... Here's the thing, though. I don't think the max Ultima sphere is going to matter as much, though, right? I kind of like just the big fork. Like, the fork is, like, very traditional Quina, right? And we've got, like, a red fork. Or we could just do the little spear hopping around. I don't know. The BT is pretty solid. I mean, it's a beefy BT. Let's put that on. So, yeah, I think we're just going to hop in. I think we are. Let's hop to it. So this is the team. So what I'm going to show off in this video here, let's just go and hop in. I'm going to do just my normal Shinryu fight. But you're going to notice I've got Ultimisia with me. Now, Ultimisia is actually a character that's kind of dated right now and is not going to put up like crazy numbers. So I want to see how Quina, because in theory, Quina's BT effect should make any character look pretty good, even if they're not normally doing a ton of damage. So I want to see that like in effect here. And what I want to do is I want to get BT effects up because any effects, the one stat that really matters with Quina, right, since you're dealing cap HP damage, is increasing your HP cap. And a lot of BT auras will do that, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take I'm going to take Ultimisia and I'm going to run a burst phase with Ultimisia. Now, there's a couple of things we're looking for here. One is we're just going to look at Ultimisia's damage as I do these attacks, right? So let's do Hell's Judgment, sure. Let's see what kind of damage Ultimisia is doing here. This is just the single target version. 180k, not even like 200k, like very weak damage. Let's do Protein Swords. Let's see this weak, terrible damage from Ultimisia. Okay, 300k with some splash. These are not good numbers. Let's do the EX. Okay, 250k. Nothing too crazy. Let's do the LD. I probably should have done the LD first because that gives like all the free skill uses and whatnot. But that's fine. But you're seeing Ultimisia's damage is not really anything to be desired, right? And sure, we'll do the Hell's Judgment Plus. So even the plus version, yeah, like 300k, like we're hitting 300k. In this BT, it's not a green one, so I don't even know that it even has that good of auras. But I just wanted to get a good look at like Ultimisia, like beginning of the fight without like Quina's BT effect up, right? Now what we'll do is I do want to take a look at like Quina's kit first, and then I think we'll end with the BT effect, and we'll make that like the big finisher at the end. Oh, unfortunately, yeah, Ultimisia's got to do a bunch of attacks here. So let's let Ultimisia go through this. But once again, just keep looking at the numbers you're seeing from Ultimisia here. Yeah, 260k. Pretty bad damage. 300k. Bad damage. Yeah, Garnet's follow-up. 250k. That's decent for follow-up damage. But yeah, everything here is like under 500k, right? 300k. Yeah. Pretty low damage. All right, and we'll just do an HP attack here, sure. All right, so now with Garnet, we're going to get Garnet's BT effect up. Oh, and you know what? Ultimisia, that's right. Ultimisia just burned right through the BT effect anyway. So yeah, we don't even have the BT effect. That's fine. Not a big deal. It wouldn't have lasted very long anyway. So Garnet's is the main BT effect. We're looking to like kind of help buff things up here. Now, when Garnet's BT effects up, like, Ultimisia's damage is going to go up a little bit at that point. So sure, let's pop that. But it should look really good with Quina's BT effect up. Should look real good. That's the hope here. See what happens. But for Quina, I think we're just going to kind of go through the kit here. All right. So the first thing with Quina is you notice an overhead called Frogs Captured, and it starts at 1. This does max at 10 stacks. So one strategy you can do with Quina that some people like to do is actually like open with the Quina BT phase so that Quina can attack a lot. Because Quina does have like a lot of things to kind of set up. So you could open a Quina BT, get stuff set up. Quina will come out of it with the BT effect up, and then you could like go crazy with the other characters. The other strat is just to kind of do the fight normally like I'm doing. Do a green Quina BT, like just the normal green attack, the burst finisher, to get the effect up, and then go into a burst phase with another character. That's probably the way I'm going to do it most often. But sure, let's go through here and let's just look at, but basically this frog overhead. Basically, anytime Quina attacks or breaks an enemy, I believe. Yeah, anytime Quina has a turn or breaks an enemy, that's going to go up by a stack up to 10. This overhead buff does attack and max brave, I brave, HP damage up, and then party attack and max brave up, I brave up, crit brave damage up, and brave regen, and then it's stacking. So all the numbers just go up as the stacks go up, right? So with Quina, let's just start with the 15 CP. This is called Eat. So let's go ahead and just press that button. See what it does. All right, so about 400k, nothing too crazy, right? Now this is going to transform into a better attack later on, and we'll get to see that too. So that did a brave gain, just did some HP damage, a party battery, and then Quina gets a buff called I Want to Eat More, and then we did get a +1 on the Frogs Capture. So what it did, the reason why the Frogs is at 3, we get 1 stack for taking a turn, and then this attack specifically adds an extra stack. So it does get you stacks up a little bit quicker. So that could be a strategy where you'd want to use that, right? The I Want to Eat More buff is just an attack and max brave up, and then enemies get an attack down. So a little bit of like kind of debuffing in there. So with Ultimecia, we're just going to like do attacks to pass turns. The other reason why Ultimecia actually can work good with Quina is Ultimecia can steal a lot of turns and like ramp through a lot of turns. And with Quina's BT effect up, that's actually really nice. We'll just do this, pass turn, and get to Quina again. Okay. All right, so Quina now we can do Frog Drop. So Frog Drop will have a plus version when you have 10 stacks of the other thing, but this is going to be a party battery, and then just an AoE attack. So nothing too crazy, but we'll just pop the normal version of it, and then later on we'll do the plus version. Let's just see what we got here. But this is why, like, doing a Quina BT phase, I see why people would do it, because then you can just do the attacks, get the frog, because you want to get the frog stacks up to 10. Once the frog stacks are up to 10, you're getting rainbow numbers with it, by the way. So then Quina is going to always have rainbow numbers once that stack is up to 10. All right, so Garnet's going to go. Okay, and then Ultimecia will just do an attack here to pass turn. But you can see Ultimecia's number is still not that good. All right, so now Quina, sure, we can do the boost all. This is just a typical like AA. I forgot to change the turn order on that. But it's going to be a party max brave up and overflow stolen up and brave damage limit up. Nothing too crazy there. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do the EX, sure. The EX here is called Limit Glove. I got that in the wrong spot. All right, see what this does. There's the rainbow numbers coming out. So the EX also just flat out does rainbow numbers too. That just comes with the EX. And it does unbreak. So you get an unbreak and a free break, which is really, really good. Party battery. And then Quina gets the High Tide buff. So the High Tide buff is Brave Stolen up, 30% Brave Retain. That's good. Party attack up, overflow up, Brave damage up, HP damage up, EX recast speed up, so the EX is going to be popping off faster, and then Brave regen scaled on Max Brave. So there is like some like Max Brave stuff in the kit, so that's why like if you're going to pick an offensive stat, I think Max Brave is probably the way to go. All right, so Garnet, we'll just do this. All right, I kind of want to go into Quina BT. I know we haven't done the LD yet, but I kind of want to drop that BT and just get it going. I do kind of want to do that. Let's do another Hell's Judgment. All right, so Hell's Judgment. Okay, about 500k now that like Garnet's BT effect is up, right? Let's just drop this. We still have the LD to show off, but let's just drop this thing. This is called Ultimate Cook. We have an FR to show off as well. The Ultimate Cook. We're going to be cooking now. All right, let's talk about Ultimate Cook. Let's see the damage here. All right, this is where things get wild. This is where things should be getting wild. Let's pay attention to the damage as we go through here. All right, the Ultimate Cook is up. All right, let's talk about it. So Ultimate Cook did a big AoE attack. This is only a 5-turn effect, so this you got to use this well. This is why like speedy characters are doing a burst phase is really good. So we're going to get Brave gains up, HP damage limit up. It unlocks Cook, which is the new skill 1. So the 15 CP now becomes a very powerful HP plus attack. And then all HP attacks deal their HP damage limit. Unless you're broken. So we just got to make sure we're not broken, right? So Garnet, let's do an Aquamarine. What does Aquamarine look like? Dude, 800k AoE on an Aquamarine. I think it's normally hitting like 500k. Okay. Okay, so let's let Ultimisia cook a little bit here. Let's do the LD. Let's do some spam here. What's Ultimisia's numbers going to look like? Dude, look at the numbers. Okay, so 1 mil on Ultimisia's LD, which is not what Ultimisia is normally doing. I should have done the EX. That's what lets me spam turns. All right, we just can't get broken. Okay, so we're not broken. We're good. All right, now let's pop Quina's. Oh, we could do FR, actually. This is too tempting not to do the FR. Let's pop the FR now. We'll still get to that LD. And our frogs are almost up to 10, but let's do the FR. We got to get all the fun stuff out while the BT effect is up. And we're comboed up with Fusoya here. And the frogs are out. All right. So 1.8 mil AoE. So let's talk about the FR. Party Battery. Unbreaks all the enemies. Big AoE attack. And then the HP damage conditions, basically as long as you deal more than 9,999 brave damage, with Quina does really easily with the rainbow numbers, and other characters typically will do that too as long as they're like a maxed out character. You get 30% for that, and then you basically get 4% per frog stack. So as long as your stacks are at 10, that's 40%, so it should be a pretty free 70% on that, right? Okay, let's do an LD with Garnet. Oh, actually, no, let's Force Echo with Garnet. Let's do that. Let's Force Echo with Garnet. See what kind of damage this has. We're at 123% now. Now, Ultimisia, we are in a Force gauge now, but let's just do, like, we got to do some stuff with Ultimisia and see what kind of numbers are popping out here. All right, we need Ultimisia to spam a little bit here, I think, is what we got to do. And I believe the EX will allow us to do that. It's been a while since I've used Ultimisia. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop this. Yep, this is what lets us spam turns. All right, so 1.6 mil there. Okay, and then sure, let's do Hell's Judgment. All right, so Hell's Judgment just did 1.7 mil. Now we are at 287%, but y'all got to remember this attack was doing like 200k. And we just did like that 200k attack at that percentage does not do 1.7 million. So, needless to say, we're looking pretty good. And now a character like Ultimisia, who's like totally not like in this meta, is now in this meta, dealing like 2 mil AoEs right there, and can spam turns. And this is like with the force time, right? What I'm going to do here, because we've got a nasty poison on us right now, I'm going to hit this Raijin proc because we don't want anybody dying on us. And then let's get back to Quina. And trust me, guys, I'm going to do more videos on Quina, like showcasing some other stuff. And then, sure, let's just do a protein swords. Because the one thing with Quina, too, this cap HP damage that we're hitting. Yeah. Dude, yeah, 3 mil. That was almost 4 mil from our protein swords. And then, sure, Garnet, let's echo again. But what I want to show what Quina can do is you guys all just experienced that Aerith fight, right, with that house. And that house is really annoying because it has a phase where you can't deal damage to it. Well, Quina bypasses that. So it bypasses really nasty mechanics. So this is a really great opportunity, I believe, where we can take revenge on the Spiritus tree. That was like, oh, I only take damage during launch. Now Quina should bypass that. So we're going to do a house revenge video. And I think we're going to do a Spiritus tree revenge video, I think is the plan this week. Not sure how fast they'll come, but we'll get there. All right, let's go ahead and do Mustard Bomb, the LD. We haven't even talked about that yet. But yeah, the numbers are crazy. Like, Ultimisia is looking like a modern character right now. Yeah, we got the rainbows going because we got the max frog stacks, by the way. Mustard Bomb, we should talk about what this does. AoE attack. It does restore skill use of skill 1 and skill 2. It puts... Oh, yeah, we haven't even seen the traps yet. So the LD just laid down some traps, which are going to be really killer during force time, which we're in right now. So we're going to try to give the enemies turns. These traps, it's called heat, and these traps are going to pop off when enemies take turns, and they ignore defense and they battery us. So let's go ahead. Let's just do an HP plus attack with Ultimecia. Sure, Ultimecia. That was pretty good damage there. Garnet, we will also HP plus. Actually, let's HP plus this side. So let's just do that. 1.4 mil on an HP plus, sure. All right, let's see these traps pop off. Dude, 8 million on a trap? Are you kidding me right now? That was 8 million on a trap. Dude. What is this character? What is this character doing 8 mil on a trap and enabling like every party member to look good? What is this character right now, you guys? Tell me what this... Oh my gosh. Can you imagine like Minwoo, Maria, like that type of deal? Or can you just imagine like taking Tifa and doing a Tifa BT phase with this with all the follow-ups? All right. I think this is quite suitable that our GOAT Ultimecia, who's now like a god, finishes the fight. So anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think of Quina. This is why the BT is so important though. Without that BT effect, Ultimecia is just hitting crap damage that whole fight. Now, Ultimecia is great. How fitting would it be to take like Thancred and beat like the Spiritus Tree with Thancred in the party or something, right? So anyways, let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.